We start with some breaking news this hour. People in the Urals in Russia have seen burning objects raining down from the sky after a meteorite exploded above there, causing a meteor shower.
Now, this has caused widespread panic in at least 3 cities. The world is closely watching another meteor that's supposed to graze past the Earth later on this evening. That's the size of an Olympic-sized swimming pool. This is an unrelated incident.
It's certainly been a strange 24 hours for things coming at us from space. The giant asteroid that came close to Earth, the meteor that exploded in Russia, and now tonight's breaking news, a meteor streaking across the Bay Area sky.
Have you detected even a small one, like the one that detonated in Russia, headed for New York City in 3 weeks? What would we do?
The answer to you is, if it's coming in 3 weeks, pray.
And this is what the sky's been doing for the last half hour. It's non-stop lightning with no thunder. I have never seen this before in my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to weather conditions at this altitude, it's opportunity to keep your seatbelt fastened while it's on.
A sign from God. Just hours after the Pope announced his surprise resignation, the heavens over Rome opened and the top of St. Peter's Basilica was struck by lightning.
Nature putting on a fiery show like you've never seen before. I know, I've never seen this before. A team of photographers capturing an incredible display in eastern Russia. 4 volcanoes they found were erupting at the same time.
But this, nobody's ever seen anything like this. 4 different volcanoes, 4 completely separate eruptions happening at the same time. Unprecedented.
The area around Mexico City is on a volcanic alert this morning. The government is sending soldiers and police to the region. They have blocked off a 7-square-mile area.
German climbers and their Filipino guide have been killed during an eruption of one of the Philippines' most active volcanoes.
We have an uptick in seismic activity, not only earthquakes, but volcano eruptions worldwide. Now, that's unprecedented. That's never happened in human history. 87 dormant volcanoes have just started waking up since February 2012.
The heat wave, which has struck southeastern Australia, has already broken a number of weather records. The longest hot spell since records began. The new highest average national temperature. In an unprecedented move, the Bureau has actually increased the temperature scale on its maps to cope with its higher temperature forecast.
Australia's record-breaking heat wave is continuing to fuel outbreaks of wildfires across scores of thousands of hectares in the southeast of the country.
We want to show you how big this system looks from space. Look at the tops of these clouds. Again, this is not one but 2 storms joining together.
This snowstorm paralyzed some of the most heavily populated areas of this country. It was a record breaker.
The governor here has already declared a state of emergency.
And to give you a sense of the power of this storm, the winds were as strong as a Category 1 hurricane with gusts up to 83 miles an hour.
It was the 5th largest snowfall on record in weather history.
As many people are waking up to scenes like these, this is likely to be the coldest March in 50 years.
There's something fishy in Rio. dead fish are washing up on the shores of Rio de Janeiro's main lagoon, and no one is quite sure why.
Fisheries experts are investigating what caused the death of thousands of fish on the Eyre Peninsula. The juvenile leather jackets have washed up along a 10-kilometre stretch of beaches.
Absolutely incredible. I've never seen a fish kill like it in all my time travelling around the country.
A discovery off the coast of Chile that has baffled authorities. Thousands of langoustines washed up in central Concepcion province. Beaches have been covered red. Investigators are trying to find out what has killed so many crustaceans.
An unusual tornado and hailstorm has killed 24 people in southern China's Guangdong province. Local officials say 272 people were injured, with 158 of them hospitalized. A wild combination of thunderstorm, hail, and a tornado hit the region with gusting winds of 110 miles an hour. This was the strongest tornado to hit the city since record-keeping began.
At least 80 people were injured, too critically, as a series of devastating tornadoes ripped across two states.
Along the border, several twisters touched down after 7 o'clock last night.
Whoa!
Destruction covers a 40-kilometre stretch of southern New South Wales and northern Victoria.
Nearly half the country is suffering with a brutal mixed bag. Snow, sleet, hail, and severe whipping winds.
Definitely one of the worst hailstorms I have ever seen.
That cloud back there, you see them coming. For folks that don't believe that the Bible is real, the Bible don't lie.
A locust invasion of biblical proportions has descended upon Israel after millions of the insects flew in from Egypt, darkening skies and threatening to destroy crops.
Report out of Florida tonight is a reminder to millions of Americans there is a strange and dangerous vulnerability underground, sinkholes. A man was in his bedroom. The earth opened up beneath the house and he fell in.
At 5 o'clock, fears that a San Francisco neighborhood could collapse. Right now, multiple sinkholes are creating a very dangerous situation.
Well, this massive sinkhole nearly killed a golfer right in the middle of the fairway in Waterloo, Illinois. Mark Mahal was on the 14th hole at the Annbriar Golf Course when the earth just opened up beneath his feet.
A 25-year-old security guard named by the paper as Yan Xibing was swallowed by a 16-foot wide, 32-foot deep sinkhole. He disappeared into the pit when it suddenly opened up as he was walking along.
Some breaking news tonight. A flash of light that experts are saying was probably a meteor was seen streaking across the sky along the East Coast. There more reports are coming in tonight. It happened just after 8 o'clock.
There are at least 350 reports of this possible meteor.
Dramatic upheaval in the earth today on a small island off the coast of Washington state. Residents say it began with a mysterious sound, almost like thunder, and then something terrifying. The earth seemed to crack open.
A rare comet makes its debut in the northern hemisphere, visible to the naked eye. In fact, some astronomers are calling 2013 the year of the comet as they identify more and more of these snowballs flying through space. Does it, though, raise questions about our safety here on Earth?
It's happening again. A big space rock the size of a city block is expected to head our way next hour. But don't worry, because there's no danger of it hitting us. We know that this meteor exploded over Russia just a month ago, last month. And now we have this, and there was an asteroid last weekend. Is this just sort of a weird time? And should we be concerned about a potential impact?
News today in Argentina, at least 50 people are dead and thousands more have been forced to flee their homes because of heavy storms and flash flooding. Buenos Aires and La Plata have been hit with the heaviest rains on record.
It looks much like New Orleans looked after Katrina.
2 people have been killed and 8 remain missing after heavy rain and flooding devastated Peru. Authorities in the South American country have pledged emergency aid and assistance.
The Russian city being eaten alive, cars, buses and trucks disappear beneath the earth as they are swallowed by giant sinkholes. Citizens of Samara live in daily fear of the ground disappearing beneath them. Dozens of holes have sprung up across the city in recent weeks.
Dead fish are washing up along the Lake Erie shoreline. What are they telling you about the amount of dead fish? It's overwhelming, isn't it?
Pretty unbelievable to be down here and to see all these dead fish. It's the worst fish die-off experts say we've seen in decades.
Fish are turning up dead in a popular central Wisconsin fishing spot.
This is all happening at the Big Oak Plain Reservoir just outside Mosinee. All the dead fish there are causing quite a smell.
Thousands of birds mysteriously dove straight into the ground.
As many as 5,000, according to military estimates.
With another situation that's happened on the south side where the earth has literally opened up.
That is a sinkhole right there. There are 3 vehicles in that hole.
They've happened here and across the country. Mysterious booming noises that for the most part have gone unexplained.
No one seems to know what is causing these weird booms. Not police, not scientists, not even the military. People all over the United States are hearing and feeling mysterious loud booms. Howe has documented booms in 25 different regions across the country.
And we start with the loud boom heard by many and so far explained by none.
That's right. It turns out those booms were heard not just here in the tri-state, but all across the country. So, what is it?
A huge explosion. You definitely knew it wasn't a firework going off. Because I've never heard anything like it. It's like very disturbing.
We're following a developing story right now that has people in several counties in our viewing area wondering, what was that sound? Dozens of you have let us know about a loud boom or explosion between 6:30 and 8:30 tonight. We can rule out an earthquake at this point.
Thousands of residents of the Argentine city of Santiago del Estero in the early hours of Sunday morning caught a glimpse of a suspected meteor that lit up the sky above the city.
From Australia to Norway, Japan to the US, thousands of people have reported seeing unidentified flying objects. And produced pictures they're convinced can prove it. Believers assembled a few blocks from the White House to present their findings, including a former Canadian defense minister.
I say without equivocation, we are not alone in the cosmos. We have neighbors. We should try to get to understand them.